Do you want to be the one they're talking about because your hair look like this? Or do you need to switch up your style a little bit so they can be like, dang, that kid, they getting their work done and their hair looking kind of fly? I don't make the rules.
Shut up and sit down.
Are you recording? Yeah.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Before we get started, once again, I'm gonna remind you to subscribe. Jokes, right? Okay. No, but seriously, welcome back to another video. On this video, we're gonna be talking about hairstyles. So, as you guys know, I got long hair. I am a guy now. I will be frank. All my hairstyles. I mean, people may say they're like very man-ish, but quite frankly, I think they're gender neutral. Anyone can wear them, guy, girl, non-identifying, whatever it may be. So I'm gonna go through 9 different hairstyles that I do, and I kind of do like spin-offs of certain ones, and we'll see it as we go. And so the preface of this video was because, I work in corporate every day. Sometimes you gotta have hairstyles that, especially being if you have big hair, you gotta switch it up a bit. So this one's specifically for braids. Of course, I only have 8. I know some people have like lots, like a lot more than that, but I mean, you can adjust it as thick or many braids as you have. I think it's all pretty much on the same level, right? Yeah, so these are appropriate for work. Some of them are a little less conservative, but the majority of them are pretty conservative. So that way, if you want to wear them to work, do your thing, baby. You're looking good, right? All right, so hairstyle number 1. We're gonna do 2 braids. So all I typically do is, and I'll put my head down. Since I only have 4 on each side, it's gonna look kind of funky. It's easier, it's better if you have more braids on the side. But essentially all you're gonna do is braid down to the head. So I'm going to follow this along, do this real fast. And like I said, mine is kind of funky because I only have 4 braids. If you have like 8 or 16 as an example, like it's gonna look a lot better than what it would on you than it would me. But this is just a simple one, down to the head. It's out of the way because typically the focus would be that if you're having some type of presentation or you're going to some event, like maybe you don't want people to look at your hair so much. Like it's not a fashion show at work. Well, not where I work. Typically corporate isn't a fashion show. But to some degree, this is what it would be. And then it will typically just hang on the back side, like this will already come up loose. I typically don't do this one unless I have more braids. Usually I'll do like 8 and 8, and then I'll do this, but this is just an example. This looks really crazy, but hairstyle number 1, we'll rock with, okay? All right, hairstyle number 2. So, I typically don't do this one. This is typically one of mine that if I'm like, have a certain style for the day, and I'm like, yeah, this will really set it off, and I don't have too much going on. But it's 2 low buns. So all we're doing, take whatever hair you have, put it over top, double banding it, and put one at the bottom. Something real. I typically do mine looser. Again, you can make them tighter, or add not as tight as you'd like. I'll redo this one so you guys can see what I mean. I think this hair tie is also super loose, so this one's still gonna look kind of funky. But yeah, there's one, and then I may do another one on this side. Same thing, just over top. I try to match it with whichever way that this braid looks. So because I have this one on top, I'll try to do the same thing and do one on the top again. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So it's not anything too crazy. Some people are like, oh, okay, I like your hair. Like, let's stand up so you guys can see. Yeah, it's really simple. Don't judge. I haven't cut my hair yet, but yeah, it's real simple. Some kind of cute. It's kind of like, okay, it's a little different, but I mean, it's still out of the way so people can still focus on you. You know what I'm saying? All right, so number 3, simple ponytail. This is what I typically do. I have these 2 always in the front. So when I have 4, I always have these 2 in the front. What I'll typically do is put those under these 2 on top, as you can see, and then I'll pull it all together. And I'll just do a relatively, not high one, but I guess average length. That way, from the side, you guys can see. You guys can see, like, it's not too crazy, but I typically like this one if I know I'm gonna be walking a lot And so people can kind of like notice my drip. I'm like strutting around the office. They're like, oh wow, you see his hair? It's moving. It's like, yeah, what's up? They're like, isn't that dude Mac, right? I'm like, yeah, it's me. What's up? Okay, number 4 is the same pony, except I'm gonna bun it. So it's literally in the same position. I do the same thing as I do with the other one. And I just go up, and then once I get my pony, I just tuck it. So I'm here, I just tuck it in there. That way it's not hanging as much. And this is if I know, I'm like, I don't want too much attention today. Like if I'm walking around, people won't notice me too much unless I like have like some loud shoes on or something. But this pony is pretty conservative, pretty straight to the point. Like I just kind of coming in, doing my work, and want to get out without being seen. So this is number 4. All right, number 5 is a top bun. So I also typically don't do this one. It looks kind of funny. Kind of looks like I got a pill on my head. If you guys know like those bee pills, that's what it looks like I have on my head. I'm not really for that, but I'll do it time to time. All right, so all we're doing, I guess I'll do it for all of them now I'm realizing. Tuck it, and then we're gonna go straight up top. Straight up top, I put it right at the top of my head, kind of like I'm about to do a pineapple. And then I usually go to the front, so like I'll tuck it from the back side, and I'll pull it around, kind of like that. Like I said, I don't typically do this one too much. It's kind of like, ooh, yeah, your hair. Unless I got a really nice cut or something, and I'm like, all right, yeah, you guys gonna see this cut today. But right now my hair's not cut, so I'm not about to show y'all like that. But I'll do a quick spin around so you guys can see. All right, this is number 5. All right, so this next one was inspired by one of my friends. For a while ago, she was like, can you do a fishtail braid? I was like, I have no idea what that is. But I mean, I guess it kind of goes without saying also. So all you do is essentially put all your hair in one braid. That's it. And so I'll do it, see if I can do it. On the back side, I'll do it this side this time. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So I'll take these 2 at the top, take these 2, and I'll start my braid. And I'll typically just do it like this. And it probably looks super funky. Like I said, I don't do this one that often. You can see I'm losing hair already going down this thing, but it probably doesn't look as good as in my head it probably does. But essentially it's just one single braid down the middle. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, especially if you don't have too many braids. Like if you had 16, probably a good plan. Actually, that doesn't look that bad. Wow. I might start going down more, but it's probably gonna come loose. So I'd probably do it like, you see it's completely out, like you guys only see my face right now. So ideally if you had like something going on, but it's not gonna come loose, or if you got, I don't know, you're trying to sneak up on someone, that might work. So that was number 6. All right, so 7, 8, and 9, less conservative, but they're more stylish than anything else. So this first one is 2 strands in the front. So my inspiration came from, I don't know if you guys ever watched Samurai Jack. Oh, my jam. My man's always had the bun on. So then, you know, he was slicing people up. He used to, not lose some hair. His hair used to come loose, and sometimes it would come out, and I'd be like, dang, man, that dude is a freaking beast. I want to be like him one day. So that's probably where I got my inspiration from. So essentially, all this is the same way that we did pony, bun, or low pony, which I realized I did not go through. Same thing, except I leave these 2 out in the front, so it's like you guys can see my drop, but you also can see it from the back too, right? That did not sound right. Ignore that. But for real though, because you see these are kind of like hugging my face. So it's like if you saw them coming up, it's like cool. But then if I turn, it's like, oh shoot, like it's got an undercut. Like you can see my undercut well. Like you can see my drop from the back. You can see I have a lot of hair, and it's just like it's a cool little vibe. That's one. Another off one of this. Instead of doing a pony like I just said, you do a bun, which that one's kind of like, I don't even know how to describe the vibe, but it's a vibe nonetheless. But I want to just do a bun instead. Like I said, I'm looking straight on. Can't really tell I got nothing back there, but then you go from the side, it's like, okay, dang, like the bun looks good. Like you can see my braids well. Like, geez, now you can really see my undercut. Number 7, man. All right, now I think about it, this one's actually not that, like less conservative. It's just a half up, half down. So literally exactly what it sounds like. I usually take, since I have 8 right now, I usually take the top 2, or sorry, top 4, and I'll just make it look decent. But, or sometimes I'll just take these 2, because these 2 will hold these other ones out of place. And I'll literally just take those two and do a quick little tie on them. That way, this is literally just I don't want to put my hair up, but I also don't want to leave it all down in case it's in my face. So I'll do something like this. That was actually really tight. So that one's kind of like hopping up, but nothing too crazy. I mean, you could take up and put those two. That way it kind of looks like a little bit better, but it's really up to you. But this is like super simple. It's out of the way. No one really knows. You can still have your drop down if you got like your braids look really good or something. But that's a good one too. All right, so last one is just a pineapple. Now this one's not conservative at all, but you know, there's some days where it's like, you know what, I'm about to go to work and I'm about to show out a bit, right? Make sure these people know who I am. So, literally the same way you do a pineapple if your hair was out, if my hair was out, for example, same thing, except just have it out. I typically like this if I'm like, some events going on. Like I said, it's definitely a distraction. So like if you have no presentation or something, I would not suggest it because people are going to, you look, turn around and people are going to be like, is that a spider on his head? No, it's not, it's just my hair. And people are like, wow, your hair is like nice, but it's like weird too, you know what I'm saying? But I like this in case I'm just like, I'm going in, I'm going to see my friends and I'm out, right? Don't talk to me, I got no meetings. Don't even look at me. I don't care, period. So, yep, that was number 9. Hopefully some of these helped you out a bit to get some ideas rolling for yourself. Try something out, let me know how it goes. Like I said, don't let people touch your hair, okay? And don't ask if you're watching these, you're like, yeah, that was me. Don't do it no more. You look crazy, okay? Comment, like, subscribe, let me know how these helped you out. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, y'all. And I'm also realizing in the beginning I said your hair looked like this. And in the end, my hair actually looks like this. We're just gonna say stylish though. Thanks for checking this out.